Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Southeast.
It is a beautiful day for baseball here at SunTrust Park. Bright, sunny skies, cool weather. And yes, indeed, the wind is blowing. It's Game 4 of our series between the Bravos and the battling Buccos. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe, welcome back to the ballpark. Quick turnaround for us, quick turnaround for the Braves and the Pittsburgh Pirates after an extra inning game won by the Pirates last night. Great pitching matchup for Game 4 of the series. The Braves send Bartolo Colon to the mound. Ivan Nova gets the ball for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he has been a revelation in black and gold.
It's been like a restart for him in his career from coming from the Yankees to the Pirates, and he's pitching great this year. He's 4-3, a 2.63 ERA, but as you see, he's not walking anybody. He walked one guy in April. He's walked 3 guys in May, so maybe he's losing all kinds of control. A lot of strikeouts, though. Bartolo Colon coming off a good start. He got no decision against the Nationals, but the team won the ball game, and he has walked himself only 2 batters in his last 3 starts. That's a good sign for him.
Kind of getting used to this winning thing. The Braves came off a terrific road trip. They've got a very good homestand working, and the offense has been a big part of that.
Absolutely, it's been a big part of it. The Braves have gone 5-3 on this homestand, and they've hit 10 home runs, so better than a home run per game. They're averaging almost 5 runs a game, and keep in mind they got shut out in one of those games against Toronto earlier in the homestand. The ERA is only inflated by last night's game. The Braves had to rest a couple of guys in the bullpen, and it certainly showed up late in the ball game.
Hopefully that won't be a problem today as Atlanta tries to take 3 out of 4 from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Nice crowd filing in for a business fan special, and we'll have more from SunTrust Park in just a moment.
Is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
Well, welcome back into a beautiful afternoon here at SunTrust Park for the series finale in Game 4 between the Braves and the Pirates as Atlanta goes for their 4th consecutive series win today. Now, there have been some new faces, some new names added to this team, but regardless, the Braves are still finding ways to win. But I want to show you some of those new roster moves. A name we are all familiar with, Matt Wisler, has been recalled from Gwinnett. He joined the big club today. He's in place of Josh Colementor, who was DFA'd last night. Adonis Garcia still on that 10-day DL with Achilles tendonitis. He will play in Gwinnett on a rehab assignment this weekend and looks to join the team back on Monday or Tuesday. Now, Rio Ruiz has been playing in place of Adonis Garcia, and he's looked really good. So when Adonis comes back, the Braves are going to have to make another decision of who is going to leave that roster spot. We don't know if Rio has worked his way on the roster. We could see Danny Santana. We could see him going away, Emilio Bonifacio. So we'll have to see what the Braves do next, but they definitely will be excited to get Adonis Garcia back. But right now, all the focus is on Game 4, the series finale between the Braves and the Pirates, with Bartolo Colon, the new 44-year-old, on the mound. First pitch and starting lineup with Chip and Joe is next.
SunTrust Park, and the crowd still filing in outside the Chop House gate for Game 4 of this 4-game series. Perfect afternoon for baseball, and for this time of year, 67 degrees and a 13-mile-an-hour breeze. You got to be kidding me.
That's crazy stuff.
It's getting us ready for San Francisco.
Yeah, well, it is that, but it's nice that we're actually here outside to experience something in the daytime. We've been spending so much time here at night, I feel like a mole.
Yeah, what's that blue stuff up in the sky? Hopefully it'll stay that way, and hopefully Bartolo Colon will pitch as well as he has the last couple of times out. And I guess for Colon, Joe, incremental progress is what we're looking for right now.
Absolutely, and he had some in his last start. Good numbers, though, against the Pirates at a 1.94 ERA. Last year made a start against them and beat them. Gave up a couple of runs was all. And he's making his first start as a mere 44-year-old today against Pittsburgh.
Ought to be 44 again.
Yes.
So what's he got to do to beat Pittsburgh today?
His 4 keys to pitching success today: the first guy, and that is applicable to two things. Frazier, who is just wearing everybody out, has been on base 11 of 16 times in this series, and the first guy in an inning is hitting .383 against the Big Sexy. Keep that first guy off base.
And right-handers are hitting him better than lefties, primarily because that sinker of his is not sinking down and into them. It's kind of coming right back to the middle of the plate. Hopefully that won't be the case today.
Frustrating game last night, I guess, in some ways for the Braves. You see the lineup presented by Clint Hurdle and presented by Toyota. Still no Andrew McCutchen. Bench last night, not in there today, as Frazier's going to move over and play center field for the Pirates in this makeshift lineup. They are going to get Gregory Polanco back. He is active and on their roster today, but not yet in the starting lineup. Braves had a 2-run lead in the 9th inning last night. Were a strike away from winning the ball game, but couldn't do it. And then Pittsburgh exploded in the 10th with 7 runs off Josh Colmenter. So 12-5 final last night, and Cologne to work. And Frazier quickly behind 0-2. Frazier's done an amazing job leading off, hitting over .408 while batting first for this Pirates club.
He has really been impressive in this series. 4 walks last night.
He's on base 6 times in the game. First Pirate to do that since Neil Walker in 2012. And a shot down the right field line, and that'll rattle around in the seats. And Frazier battling hard. He'll see a 5th pitch.
And again, neither team took batting practice on the field today.
There's a ground ball, had Frazier off stride, and the throw to first in plenty of time. Jace Peterson is the Braves' second baseman today. The rest of the Atlanta defense. Dansby Swanson up the middle as well. Rio Ruiz and Matt Adams on the corners. Kurt Suzuki's behind the plate. And Kemp, Inciarte, and Marquez out there every day in the Atlanta outfield. Good start for Cologne. There's that leadoff man retired, 1 down.
There's 1.
Here's Josh Harrison. Harrison too's had a nice series. 8 hits this year against Atlanta, and he's riding a 6-game hitting streak. And that's low and away. Pittsburgh's had all kinds of trouble winning games on the road. They're only 9-17 away from PNC Park. And despite being 5 games under .500, the Pirates are only 4.5 games off the lead in the Central. You talk about a tight race where anybody can do something. Well, they've got Polanco back. They're going to get Marte back at some point. Who knows? Pirates could be, like Milwaukee, a big-time surprise in that tightly packed Central Division.
Well, they're really appreciative of everybody waiting around for them to get healthy.
Tom Hallion has the plate today. Look for his signature donkey bray strike 3 call here, as Harrison awaits a full count pitch. It's not to be, a 1-out walk.
We were bragging on Bartolo in our opening comments about only walking 2 in his last 3 starts, but there's the first one today.
Josh Bell's the Pittsburgh first baseman. He's batting .243 with 9 homers and 20 knocked in, 3 hits in the series. And Joe, I don't think any one of his 3 hits came on a pitch that was even on the black. I mean, he has done some amazing work at the plate to go 3 for 13.
He sure has. Inside off the plate, outside off the plate on a changeup. I remember that he just kind of blooped one in. But he's also leading their team in homers with 9.
And a heavy wind blowing at the ballpark today. We'll see what happens. The pitch caught a corner, strike 1.
Good sinker.
Close play at first, and Adams applied the tag and then fell on top of Harrison. He had a quick peek into the Braves dugout, thought he might have gotten the tag down. Did he?
I don't think he got him, but it was a good throw because it was thrown right into the runner.
Now Bell behind, 0-2. Bartolo Colon is 2 strikeouts away from 2,400 in the major leagues. Bell didn't offer it that one downstairs. It's 1-2. 235 career wins, a lifetime ERA of 3.97, and today Colon has made his 510th major league start. And a squibber right back to the mound. Better throw from Bartolo to second that time, and a double play. That'll end the first for the Pittsburgh Pirates. No trouble for Colon. Ivan Nova goes to work in a scoreless opening inning.
By Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Delta Airlines.
Bartolo Colon off to a good start. A double play ends the top of the first inning. Now the Braves take aim at Ivan Nova, who's off to a terrific start this year. Nothing wrong with the Atlanta offense. Braves averaging over 5 runs a game over the last 13 played. Suzuki's behind the plate today. Jace Peterson's batting 8th. And don't expect any free passes from Mr. Nova. You've got to beat him if you're going to do what you hope this afternoon at SunTrust Park.
That's why he's among the league leaders in ERA at 2.63. Nestled in there at 4th place. Big guy himself, 6'5", 240. He's 30 years old. Both pitchers today from the Dominican Republic. He's made 10 starts. This will be his 10th start. 2 complete games and 1 shutout already.
Ender Inciarte greets him first and hits one a mile down the left field line, and that's headed for the stands. Strike 1.
Nova's fastball sits 92 to 94. Curveball, changeup.
He has been an unbelievable find for the Pirates, and really has kind of an old school manner about his statistical line. Since August 1st last year, when the Pirates acquired him when they were here in Atlanta, Ivan Nova's gone 9-5 with 5 complete games. There are major league teams that probably don't have 5 complete games since last August.
Right.
And there's an even more impressive number. First the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Retires Inciarte, and he's out number 1. This is Nova's 21st game in a Pirate uniform. You know how many walks he's issued in those 20 games? 7. 7. And this is a starting pitcher, not a relief pitcher.
Right.
So he's been an incredible find, and that's why I think the Pirates feel so good about their chances. If they get Garrett Cole some run support, this guy back-to-back with Cole, that's pretty salty 1-2.
Greg Maddux would throw more innings and have 28 walks. But last year, Nova had 162 innings pitched, 28 walks total between the Yankees and Pirates.
Bouncing ball toward Mercer at short. Tricky hop, stayed with it. High throw and out at first. And Dansby has a look in the dugout. Braves might look at this one. Looked like Mercer was betwixt and between on how to field that ground ball.
They took him about 3 steps to get rid of it and then threw high. Nice job by Bell if he kept his foot on the bag here. He kept his foot on.
So a nice play. Yeah, our stat man Arbuckle Jenkins did some searching for us. The 5 complete games by Nova are more than every team in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
The Red Sox have 4. That's a team that has David Price and now Chris Sale. Here's Markakis. Nick at 297, a homer, 23 RBIs. So when you look over a scouting report for a guy like Nova and you see he doesn't walk anybody, is that an advantage or a disadvantage for you as a hitter?
Oh, I think it's a great advantage. You know he's going to be around the plate, but you also know that he's going to be around the plate with probably 3 different pitches.
And he's got another ground ball. This one out to Gifton Gope. And he makes the peg to first, and Nova has a very efficient and easy 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Braves home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Off we go to the second. And David Freese will lead off for Pittsburgh. That's outside for the Pirates third baseman, who's hit 5 homers this year. He hit the first of 3 consecutive home runs for Pittsburgh in the 10th inning. That is only the 3rd time in Major League history that a team has had back-to-back homers in the 10th inning or later of a Major League game. And it must be a May thing. It happened May 2nd, 1964. It happened May 31st, 2002. And it happened on May 24th, 2017.
That's ironic.
And a shot into right field is the first Pirate hit. Freese goes the other way and is aboard to start the second.
Maybe something that gets him going. He had really been struggling, but now 3 for 7 in his career against Cologne. Too much of the plate, but a good piece of hitting by Freese, who primarily is a pull hitter. See, they know that Cologne's going to be around the plate too. They know that primarily he's going to be around the plate with a fastball. Might be a two-seamer that's sinking or moving, but they know they're going to get something good to hit. Just a matter of whether or not they connect.
Freese did. He's aboard for Cervelli, who's hitting .236 on the day. Hope you enjoyed our feature yesterday on Braves Live with Eddie Perez and Ender Inciarte on the humanitarian crisis happening in Venezuela. Francisco Cervelli penned a very emotional, heartfelt, and authentic column in the Players Tribune yesterday talking about what's happening in his hometown of Valencia, Venezuela. In that article, Cervelli said he hasn't been home in a year and a half, and I didn't realize this, but Valencia, Venezuela's bigger in population than Philadelphia and Dallas. And he said it's really remarkable. Years ago, he'd go home and see skyscrapers being built. Now he sees the pictures at home, and they're hollowed out buildings, boarded up buildings, and despair everywhere, especially among the kids.
Well, I just want to say that you did a great job in the interview with Eddie and Ender and Brian Woodrum. Terrific job of putting that together. I hope everybody saw it. We can certainly run it again. It's relevant and sad what's going on down there.
Cervelli takes low, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike.
You see both Ender and Eddie basically break down talking about it, and you can see the sadness on their faces. Hits home about how tough it is.
And there's no escape from it.
No.
As they said, it's every time the phone rings, they fear the worst. Ground ball toward the left side and through. Ruiz couldn't cut it off, and back-to-back hits for the Pirates in the second inning has them off and running. Perfectly placed ground ball for the Pirate catcher.
That's that two-seamer. The one to Freese wasn't quite as in the middle of the plate as that one was, but they're both running right back to the barrel of the bat.
You hit a home run, you got a chance to play. That's the case for Jose Ozuna. He did a lot of damage in a short amount of time last night. As you mentioned, Joe, he didn't start for Pittsburgh in Game 3.
No, he didn't come in until late, and went 2 for 3 with a homer and 3 RBIs.
And as impressive as that production was, it might have been his 8th inning at bat that was the most impressive sequence of the game. 13 pitches were needed by Ian Kroll to get him out. Ozuna's 24. He can play first. He can play the outfield. And we know he can hit it a long way. And he just took a strike to even the count.
Bartolo's trying to hit that outside corner, and he has on several occasions with that two-seamer. But a couple have come back to the bats of the right-handed hitters. And I think that kind of defines why his batting average against his splits. Right-handers hitting .326 against him, left-handers .290. Too many pitches coming back to the center of the plate.
Little chopper right out in front of the plate. The throw's going to go to third, and it's going to be in time. Big gamble by Kurt Suzuki, but he pounced on that ball quickly and just did get Freese on a forced play at third base.
Boy, what a heads-up play, too. Good job by Rio also. Look at him. He's the first baseman there. Stretching for that one. Foot on the bag. That helped on that out. It was a close play. Nice job by both.
Now Darth Vader and Spikes, from Atlanta's perspective, is in the batter's box. And a strike. I mentioned Darth Vader. Someone mentioned today, 40 years ago today, the first Star Wars was released.
It's when we all started wanting to be Wookiees.
No balls and a strike. And it's an even count. Mercer's got a hit in 18 of his last 20 against the Braves, hitting almost 400 in that stretch. He has 11 hits against Atlanta pitching in the first 6 games head-to-head this year.
Good grief. 11 and 6. Wow.
Little pop behind first. That's a long run from Markakis. Foul ground, still chugging, and he won't get there.
I got to admit, Matt Adams is a lot rangier than I anticipated him being. You know, I was used to him just kind of being a great big old first baseman that didn't have a lot of range, didn't move around a lot. But the new improved Matt Adams is getting around a lot better, as his triple indicated last night.
He's off to a terrific start with Atlanta. As Mercer awaits a 1-2 pitch with 2 on, 1 out. No score. And Bart missed low. Jordy Joe Mercer. Awaits a 2-2 pitch. And a little tapper. Rio's got to hurry. Charges, gloves, grabs, guns, high throw. Adams got the tag and then dropped the ball. Now runner Cervelli's going to streak home and score, and Pittsburgh takes the lead. So that's a lousy result in all fashions for the Braves. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Nice play on the charge. And I thought Matt had it in his glove, but it almost looks like it was coming out as he was putting the tag on.
So give Mercer another hit. And Gift Ngope is the Pirates hitter. First and third, 1 out. Bartolo's getting the ball on the ground, but a couple of been perfectly placed. No RBI for Mercer. The run scores on the high throw from Ruiz at third base. There's a strike. It's 0-2. Don't want to give Ivan Nova too many runs to play with. In 14 career innings against the Braves, he's given up 1 unearned run. 0-2. Another dribbler. This one again to Ruiz. He can't make a play. Another infield dribbler turns into a second Pirate run. Home runs late last night. Little bleeders in the second inning for Pittsburgh today.
Boy, no kidding. Talk about some tough luck. Make some good pitches. You get the ball hit on the ground. What a shame.
This should be a battle. Bartolo Colon and Ivan Nova are combined 0 for 31 at the plate. Nova's 0 for 19. And he just laid down a beautiful bunt. Ruiz will field and flip. Perfect sacrifice. Runners at second and third.
May not be able to hit, but he sure can bunt. That's his 4th sacrifice already.
So here's Frazier. He bounced out his first time up. 2-0 Pittsburgh. 2 runs on 4 hits. If you add all the hits together, I doubt they get to the 375 mark.
No kidding. Would not give this guy anything to hit.
Not as hot as he's been. 15 RBIs for Frazier. 366 batting mark. Swing and a drive deep right field. They gave him something to hit, and Frazier didn't miss it. Long home run, a 3-run shot. That one did go beyond the 375 mark, and by a good margin.
Yeah. This guy was on the disabled list for a time with a bad hamstring, so he missed a little bit of time. But he's making up for it big time. He's not missing anything. He has no stride. It's all hands. It's a quick swing. And I know Harrison has a 6-game hitting streak working. But Frazier's the guy in this series that has done all the damage, he and Mercer.
So the Pittsburgh Pirates, in their last 4 innings, have scored 12 runs. No, that's not right. They've scored 14 runs in their last 4 innings. And they've got 5 in the second, still 2 outs. And Josh Harrison has an even count. He walked and was doubled up to end the first. Fly ball down the right field line. Markakis near that fence. And don't want to interfere with the ball down there. That one clearly into the stands. Nicely done. And Harrison 0-1-2 count. And that's pulled toward third. Rio can't handle that. So that'll bounce off the padded wall. Harrison's on his way to second, and he'll stop there. That's the 6th hit of the inning. And Harrison's got 7 doubles, and that does extend his hitting streak to 7 games.
Essentially the same pitch that has been problematic already today. It's up, and it's coming right back to the hitter. Not coming in enough to get in on their hands, but coming back to the barrel.
There's a looper over third and foul.
She's going to say not again.
Yeah. You young fans who watch the broadcasts, when the broadcasters say a bloop and a blast, you've seen evidence of that this entire inning for the Pirates.
Yep.
5 runs on 6 hits. Josh Bell, the 9th man to hit. And he almost got plunked. 2 balls and a strike. Malone's about to make his 34th pitch of the inning. Bell grounds to second, and that will retire the side. Pittsburgh scores 5 runs. It's the 5th inning for Colon this year, where he's allowed 3 or more.
Player from Africa to ever wear a major league uniform, and baseball has literally always been his life. His mom was a clubhouse attendant for an amateur team, so his mom and his brothers all lived in a small closet-sized room inside of that clubhouse. He told me yesterday that he would stay after games spending hours throwing a ball against the wall. He said that it became his best friend, and now he finds himself with his name on a locker in a major league clubhouse. So such a cool story, Chip and Joe. He also did tell me that he thinks SunTrust Park might be one of his favorite ballparks he's seen so far this year.
Well, he's not alone in that assessment, Kelsey, and it is an incredible story. Gift and Gope talking to the Pirates media relations folks who've made the trip. Their phone is buzzing just about every time that guy does anything on a major league diamond. As Matt Kemp drives the first pitch toward right field, pretty deep. Look at that ball carry up to the wall, and a leaping grab made by Osuna on the warning track for the first out.
Good swing by Matt. I thought that one would go, but I think the wind blowing right to left may have held that up just a little bit. Nice play by Osuna right at the wall.
So the fans in the Coors Light below the chop get an up close look at Mr. Osuna. And Nova's retired the first 4. Matt Adams is the hitter and takes a strike. Roughly 1 billion people live on the continent of Africa, and Gift Ngope is the first to make it to the major leagues from the Johannesburg, South Africa suburbs.
He should be an inspiration to a lot of kids.
Ground ball to the right side. Bell's got it. He's going to take it to the bag himself. Pirates have another player whose name escapes me from Lithuania who's up with a big league team. And when they called Ngope up, that man was sent back to the minor leagues. And you might recall as well, several years ago, the Pirates, I believe, were the first major league team to sign a couple of amateur players from India who tried to make it their way in professional baseball from the New Delhi area, I believe it was. So internationalization of our sport is great for everybody.
I applaud the Pirates and their efforts.
Suzuki behind the plate, 3 for 4 in the series. He'll try to be the first Braves base runner today. A 5-run second for the Pirates. They sent 9 to the plate. 6 hits. Bunch of them infield safeties, and then the Frazier 3-run homer. And Suzuki almost got hit again. He and Tyler Flowers have been walking targets.
That was up and in too. Watching Nova pitch, it's like he's in a rocking chair out there. He is so smooth. His mechanics are so easy. His follow through brings him squared up to home plate. And the ball jumps out of his hand. Just from right here forward, it's almost like he's throwing batting practice, but obviously doing anything but. Whoa, what happened?
Something you almost never see.
Boy,
Nova just issued a walk, only his 5th walk in 63 innings. All help appreciated in a 5-run game. I was hoping you weren't going to find it. The name of the Lithuanian player for the Pirates. Boy, where's Harry Carey when you need him? First, Rio Ruiz, and he shoots one up the middle. Mercer can't knock it down, and all hands are safe. That's the first Atlanta hit. Dovydas Neverauskas was the man from Vilnius, Lithuania, who was here with the Pirates briefly.
Rio stayed on that one nicely back through the middle. Well, I got that name for you, but never ask us again. That walk to Suzuki, only the second 3-0 count he's been to this year.
Second?
Number 2.
Well, it makes you wonder why the Yankees couldn't fix this guy.
Hard to figure. You know, he was drafted one year when he was in the minor leagues with the Yankees. The Padres took him in a Rule 5 draft. I think that was 08, and then sent him back to New York.
Jace Peterson pops one into shallow left. Harrison comes charging in and puts the squeeze on that. Moral victory for the Braves. They got a walk and a hit, but they're down 5-0 where it counts after 2. June 16th when the Marlins are here. It's Dansby the Flow bobblehead night, brought to you by SunTrust Bank. The first 20,000 fans through will walk away with Dansby's Inside the Park home run slide depicting bobblehead doll. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Nice crowd today on a beautiful afternoon at SunTrust. After a scoreless first, the Pirates sent 9 to the plate in the second inning. 5 of them scored. And the man that got it started was David Freese, who lined a single cleanly into right field. Freese with 3 hits in the head-to-head series with the Braves this year, 2 of them homers.
There's only one more of these midweek business fan specials at SunTrust Park. That's July 19th against Cubs.
Another shot to right, but this one's going to be caught by Nick Markakis. And he makes the play easily, 1 out.
See if we can tell a difference between those pitches that were being hit and this one. That one started kind of inside third. Didn't move a lot, but moved enough to tighten him up a little bit. Tighten Freese up where he couldn't get the barrel to it. As Tom Glavine says quite often, it's all about execution, not so much about the ballpark.
Cervelli guided a single through the left side of the infield his first time up and takes a strike. Pittsburgh heads home after this game. They've got the Mets and the Diamondbacks at PNC Park. And as poorly as the Pirates have played overall on the road, that's not been the case at home. They're 12-9 on their home turf. And a shot to third. Rio can't make that play. Played it off to the side, and Cervelli's around first, slams on the brakes, and he'll head back.
If you're going to play it that way, you better knock it down. Not saying it's that easy to get in front of a BB like that, but if you're not going to get in front of it or don't have time to get in front of it, hit some leather on it.
Cervelli's 2 for 2. Here's Osuna. Quickly, 2 strikes. Back to the mound. Bartolo thought about throwing to second, made the wise choice, got his man at first. Cervelli at second. Mercer's coming up, but now there are 2 outs. Mentioned the importance of that double play in the first inning for Bartolo in his last start. Was it his last start where he misconnected on a double play chance and threw the ball into the outfield?
I believe that's right.
The 1 start or 2 starts ago. It was recently. And it looked like his feet weren't in real good position to try to force a double play chance. So he got the second out. Let's see if he can get Mercer, who tallied the first of 2 infield hits in a row for Pittsburgh last time up.
Yeah, it was the primary reason he wasn't able to finish the 5th inning in his last start. And it was a comebacker from the pitcher, Scherzer.
Can't give him any more. It's already a 5-0 Pittsburgh game.
Oh, good pitch.
But it's off the plate. Mercer didn't offer. And the inning continues with Gift and Gopay.
Even Mercer was slow to take his shin guard off. He thought it was a strike too. Low, I guess.
Bartolo thought it was good enough.
Yeah, and he rarely looks in.
See Cervelli's reaction after Colon spun?
Yeah.
Then I'm the catcher, for crying out loud. He's not going anywhere. RBI for Ngope last time up. And a grounder toward third. Rios got it. He'll go to second. And that will get Colon out of inning number 3. Bartolo leads off for the Braves. It's 5-0 Pirates.
Of the third inning, and this might be my favorite tradition I've ever seen. This weekend is the 5th annual Father's Day trip for the Pirates. There are 20 dads here from the Pirates. Clint Hurdle, the manager, has organized this. He wanted to do it when he was in Colorado, and then he got fired, and he wanted to bring this with him to Pittsburgh, and he did. So they kicked off the weekend throwing out the first pitch at the last home game. They find a short road trip, hop on the charter with their sons, and here they are in Atlanta, taking in SunTrust Park. I ran into them Monday. They took a tour of the stadium. They loved it. They're enjoying their time here, enjoying their time watching their sons play. And I just applaud Clint Hurdle on organizing this, because it's such a unique opportunity to have them ingrained into this experience.
Bartolo Colon leads off and puts one in play. Harrison on the run, dives and makes a spectacular catch to rob Bartolo Colon.
What a shame. Just put a little too much air under it. Well, if Josh Harrison's dad is here, he's going to be applauding for that. It was a terrific catch. Lays out, hangs on. Oh, that's a great thing. What a great thrill for the dads to be able to travel with the team and hang out with them here.
Bartolo got wood on that baseball, and Harrison made a spectacular play. Back to the top, Ender Inciarte, the batter. He struck out his opening time and takes upstairs. Line drive into center, and Frazier is going to catch that. Quickly, 2 outs. One big advantage for the dads is all their kids are of age. so they can hang out together. My first road trip with my dad, I was 12 years old. We went to Houston. Bill Akery was the traveling secretary, and he let me be the bat boy down at the Astrodome. I got to be the bat boy, I think, in J.R. Richards' last game he pitched before he had his stroke. But my dad was wise beyond his years. They had a video game arcade right off the, shall we say, tavern in the hotel. And Dad handed me $20 worth of quarters and kept sending Bruce Benedict and Al Roboski in to play me in Pac-Man. So that kept me and Dad entertained for about 3 hours after the game. Worked out great. As Dansby hits strike one. And then, as only my dad could, back in those days, they had the in-room movies where you actually had to go and push a button to choose the movie you wanted to watch. Well, that night's choice was Animal House. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, my dad says, "You got to stay up and watch this movie. This is what college is like." I shot to third, and Freese makes the play. And Nova is rolling merrily along. 3 up and 3 down, 5-0 Pittsburgh. June 10th, Jake Owens coming to town for just $20. Get a VIP field pass and enjoy the concert up close and personal. Go to Braves.com/Jake Owen and get your tickets and passes today.
That'll be a fun concert. First pitch that day against the Mets, 4-10.
Maybe Jake will come up and say hi during the game. As Nova digs in and swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves have already had one big concert here while we were out of town. They had the Billy Joel show. Later on this summer, Metallica's coming to town. Part of their stadium tour across the United States. Now the 2-2 pitch. Nova sprays one toward right. Long run, Markakis. Foul ground. He comes up with a terrific running catch with that wall coming up quickly. Nice job. Nova's out number 1.
It's about his 3rd sprint over there already today. He's beginning to get the lay of the land with that cutout. And was playing Nova shallow. Nice catch. Nice job by the ball boy to get out of town too with that chair. Good hustle, lefty.
And here's one of the villains, Adam Frazier. As you said, two guys for Pittsburgh have done a great job in this series. Well, more than two guys, but two of their hottest hitters, Frazier and Mercer. Both have been instrumental in their 5-run outburst.
And that's why I said what I did about him, I wouldn't give him anything to hit, because A, he's left-handed and hot, and it's no disrespect to Josh Harrison, but this guy's on fire.
There's a ground ball, and there's the second out. If you have major plans to come see the Braves this summer at SunTrust Park, we really invite you to do so. There is not a bad seat in this house.
You know what I like? I like seeing the people up above the bleachers in left field, walking around. Everybody's kind of going to different places in the ballpark, moving around to see different different sight lines from different spots.
That's one of the cool things about the design of this ballpark, is at that level where you're speaking of, fans can walk all the way around the ballpark, 360 degrees.
Yeah, this is a good crowd.
Nothing like a day baseball game. Make you feel like spring and summer. 2 balls and a strike for Harrison.
Who was it? Humphrey Bogart that said a hot dog at the ballpark is better than roast beef at the Ritz.
It's hard to argue that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Seven-game hit streak for Harrison. Line drive over the second base umpire's head into left center field. So a big turn for Harrison around first. He'll slam on the brakes, and he's aboard for a 3rd time in the first 4 innings. A walk, a double, and now a 2-out single.
Two-seamer again. That one wasn't up. It actually was down a little more than the others, but even though it was the inner third, it allowed Harrison to drop the barrel on it. He's just not tying anybody up.
And that's his game. I mean, he's, as we've said a million times, not going to strike out a lot of guys. In his younger days, Bartolo could throw the ball 97, 98 miles an hour at will. That's not his game. He's a pitch to contact guy, but he wants weak contact at people.
He's had his share of those today. He's had, 3, 4, 5 of them just pounded straight down into the ground. He tied up Bell with a ground out to end the 2nd inning. Made a good pitch to Frazier this inning. But every single mistake gets hit. Anything left in the middle of the plate gets hit.
And in fairness to Bartolo as well, a couple of balls hit to third base that Rio Ruiz couldn't handle. If you're going to have a pitch to contact pitcher, you'd better have sure-handed men behind him. And the Braves do have an error today.
That's why I thought it was unfair, the ruling on Mercer's ball in the 2nd inning, ruled a hit, and then the runner scored on an error. They had him out. There had to be an error on the play, or he would have been out.
So that makes all the runs earned runs for Cologne. This one's popped away by Bell. 2 balls and a strike. But earned, unearned, at the end of the day, doesn't matter. It's 5-0.
Right. About to make his 80th pitch already.
That throw hit the base runner.
And then the first base coach.
Wow. That got everybody over at first base. And the first base coach for the Pirates is hobbling around.
Camera Barty. Not sure where it hit him. Oh, right in the shin.
And then he almost got run over by Matt. Two balls and a strike. Runner goes, got an excellent jump and a shot. Nice play at third. Rio's got it on a bounce, and the throw to first is in time to take care of Josh Bell. No runs, one hit, one error, one terrific play at third. Nick Markakis coming up for Atlanta in the fourth. Braves are down 5 to the Pirates at SunTrust Park. Where the Pirates lead 5-0. Ivan Nova has had his way with the Braves. 25 pitches total through 3 innings. He's given up a walk and a hit. He's got a strikeout. So Atlanta has gone up there very aggressively against him, and that's worked to Nova's advantage, who already has 2 complete games this year and is coming off a 7 innings and a third stint in a victory against the Phillies last time out.
When he walked Suzuki in the second inning, that was only his second walk to a right-handed batter all year.
So the Pirates got him as a buy low candidate from the Yankees, and they are delighted they did. They've already extended his contract. As this one's bounced out towards second. He is wearing out the infield grass. Markakis retired, 1 away. That's 5 groundouts for Ivan Nova. Matt Kemp is the hitter. He's our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot today.
Well, he's had a good homestand, but it extends farther back than that. Last 10 games, .390 average, 2 and 9 homers and RBIs. Braves hit the jackpot when they picked him up from San Diego last year. He's been terrific.
One thing about this Braves team is they'll give you a finish. They don't fold their tents. This one's not over by a long shot, and a base hit by Kemp with 1 out. Get something started for the Braves here in the 4th inning. And an example of that was the other night when the rains began to fall and the Braves and Pirates had to wait out a 3-hour-plus long rain delay. It was the veterans in the Braves locker room that kept saying, hey, we're going to come back and play. And not only are we going to come back and play, we're going to win that game. And the man leading the charge was the man at first base, Matt Kemp. That was very impressive for Brian Snitker to hear from a group of longtime Major League veterans.
And they had to come back twice. The 7th and the 9th.
Adams launches one foul out of play. That's grounded out in his loaded bat against Nova today.
Talking about his mechanics earlier for Nova, there's nothing real deceptive about it. There's nothing tricky about it. Just very smooth. Got long arms, and it seems like that right arm just kind of unfurls as he's taking the ball back before he throws it.
Well, there's some who speculate that getting out of New York and the high pressure, high expectation atmosphere of the Yankees and Yankee Stadium was the best thing that could have happened for Ivan Nova. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that's met with no disrespect at all to the Pittsburgh fans or their organization, but Pittsburgh ain't New York.
Had Tommy John surgery back in 15, missed that season.
Kemp a short late at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a shot to short. Short hop by Mercer. And Ngope with the turn doubles up Adams. That was an impressive play up the middle. Jordy Mercer's glove, old reliable, made a nice play, and Atlanta's out of luck in the home 4th. From our Xfinity cam, perched high above the Comcast building beyond the right field fence here at SunTrust Park. Gorgeous day. Well, I'll bet the Battery Atlanta will be packed after this game.
You know it.
Sadly, we won't be able to join the big crowd as we'll be headed for the charter in San Francisco. Well, the Braves open up a series with the Giants tomorrow night. First pitch swing by Freeze. 5th inning underway. 1 up, 1 down.
You know, looking at the Comcast building, it's so pretty, and next door is the hotel, and the hotel's really taking shape.
I was told a couple of weeks ago that the Omni should be open sometime in January, and One of the things I like too is with all the LED scoreboards and things that are behind the chop house along those concourses. At night, you can see the reflections and the little splashes of color reflected in those glass panels for the buildings. This truly is a beautiful, trend-setting baseball city here in Northwest Atlanta. As Francisco Cervelli digs in. Pirate catchers 2 for 2 with a run scored. Line drive into left field. Cervelli's got a third hit. Kemp can't cut it up, cut it off. That's on its way to the wall, and Cervelli will stand at second base.
Boy, that rest did him some good last night. He did come in and pinch hit and got a base hit last night pinch hitting. So 3 hits today, 4 for his last 4. 5 for his last 5 going back 2 nights ago.
Pirates and their fans love the work Cervelli does on and off the field. Very popular player up there, and for good reason. Jose Osuna now has a 1-1 count. Something else that's a little troubling for me is Braves starters aren't going very deep in these games. Julio did a reasonably good job yesterday. 6 innings, 95 pitches. R.A. Dickey, 6 innings, 102 pitches. Fultonevich, 5+ innings. He was up around 100. Jaime Garcia, the outlier, he had the first 8-inning performance by a Braves starter this year, but really it's been 5+, 6 1/3.
A lot of pitches.
And high pitch counts, knocking them out of the game.
A lot of innings with 4 to 6 hitters per inning. Meaning very few 3 up and 3 down jobs by the guys that would save them staying in the game a little longer.
And as good as the Braves bullpen has been, the ripple effect of that is when you have to cover 3 2/3 or 4 innings every night or every other night, there are going to be games like last night where you just can't use certain guys, and that's really what Atlanta ran into.
Yep.
Braves had to stay away from Arodys Vizcaino. They had to stay away from Jim Johnson. And Jose Ramirez was a strike away from his first major league save and couldn't get the 3rd out. Pittsburgh tied it in the 9th and then exploded in the 10th to win running away. So that's got to pick up. Starters got to be more efficient and got to have some easier innings. First and second for Mercer. And that one's inside the line, down the third baseline, and that's going to score another run. Cervelli comes home. They're going to wave Osuna around. Kemp took a while to get to the baseball, and it's a ringing double for Mercer. That man does it again, and Pittsburgh extends the lead to 7-0.
Well, it actually, when the ball hit the wall, Chip, it just stayed there. Matt got over there and he was ready to play it off the wall, and then somehow it just kind of stuck either in the bottom, down in the padding. See right there, it just kind of died right there. So Matt had to go all the way over to get it. Did not get a carom off of it.
So wise of Mercer to hit the ball in that spot.
Yeah. Nice.
And he's up to 17 RBIs, and the Steelers lead the Falcons 7-0 here at the halfway mark.
Well, Mercer came into this series with 2 homers, 11 RBIs. He's now got 4 homers and 17 RBIs. Frazier came in with 1 and 12. He's now got 3 and 18.
And there's the first strikeout call from Tom Hallion on a called third. Bartolo Colon's got the second out, and here's Nova.
I'm not sure what he was waiting on, but Gope took one right there. In that start against Washington, his last time out, Colon struck out 6 guys in 4 1/3.
Little dribbler right to the first base bag. Adams has it, and that's the inning. A pair of doubles and a walk helps Pittsburgh extend their lead. After 4 1/2, it's 7-0 Pirates. Kurt Suzuki will go to work for Atlanta next.
Spaghetti is kind of my thing. A little stir fry, some fried chicken. My wife and I actually got into Homeland recently, and we have been completely addicted to it.
So that's a Meet the Braves feature. Kurt Suzuki is the man that's starting off the inning for Atlanta. 7-0 is your score. What a better way to celebrate the start of summer than by joining us for Kids Week at SunTrust, June 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Each day has something special. Come on out for unique kids experiences and giveaways all week long. Go to braves.com/kidsweek for all the details. Ivan Nova has a 7-run lead, but the Braves do have a walk against him, and this is the man that got it, Kurt Suzuki. A real rarity for Nova, just his 5th walk this season. Like those Meet the Braves features.
Me too.
We'll have to ask Kurt what his secret recipe is for his mean spaghetti recipe he was talking about.
I'm liking the stir fry he was talking about. Remember when walks were a big deal and they first came out and everybody was cooking in their walk?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why we stopped doing that. That's good. Love stir fry.
Ground ball to short. And Mercer will make the play. Well, everyone's trying to elevate their cooking game. So on base percentage with the walk is not as important as exit velocity in the when the stuff goes flying out of the cooking utensils.
Yeah,
so
well, trust me, I've struck out a lot on the walk.
you don't have a go-to recipe with the walk that's a big hit?
Kathy does. Kathy's a great cook. Bartolo Colon today has thrown 60 more pitches than Ivan Nova.
It's funny, when the Braves hit the ball, it seems to find a Pirate defender. No such luck for Atlanta today. At least as Bartolo's concerned. Rio Ruiz has one of the 2 Atlanta hits, and he scorches this one toward right. But that's going to be easy, and out number 2. Ozuna catches it. And boy, has he been efficient. He had 20. He has been efficient. Enunciate that properly. He had 25 pitches in the first 3 innings. He's now all the way up to 39, and he's an out away from getting out of the 5th inning. He's got to be exhausted.
Yeah.
You pitch like this, it's easy to see how you can rack up complete games. And of course, having 7 runs to play with doesn't hurt either.
But don't you find, I keep going to this, but don't you find him just real smooth and rhythmic when he's going to the plate, his delivery and follow through?
Well, you've faced guys like this, I'm sure, as a major league hitter. Does his velocity and his accuracy surprise you because of the smoothness?
A little bit. I mean, the fact that he's so smooth shouldn't surprise me, that he's throwing 92 to 94, because he's a big, strong guy. But I think one thing he's showing you is that you don't have to basically rear back, high leg kick, spin around, be facing center field to throw 94 and be effective. 92 to 94.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And a ground ball to first. That's going to be easy for Bell. Another single-digit pitch inning for Ivan Nova. 9 that time, and the Braves head to the 6th.
Head to the top of the 6th inning. Welcome back to our set here in the Battery Atlanta. I'm Andre Aldridge with this game break, and we head to our nation's capital, Washington, entertaining the Mariners. And Washington 13-1 against the M's since the baseball came back to D.C. And Gio, oh man, he is on fire. Didn't allow a hit through 4 innings. Anthony Rendon with a home run, high, deep, far, and gone. He's going to take it after we watch Gio continue to do his thing. Rendon, 4 home runs in his last 3 games, and we get it back upstairs now to Chip and Joe.
Boy, is he hot. He kind of, after they left here the first time when he was off to such a rough start, Rendon just took off on a tear, and now he's got the power going.
Double switch for Atlanta. Danny Santana takes over at second base. Matt Whistler, as Kelsey reported earlier, is the man that's up for Josh Colemanter, who was designated for assignment after the game last night. Whistler's got the top of the order for the Pirates in the 6th. Pittsburgh 7, Atlanta nothing. And give credit to the Washington Nationals to follow up on Andre's report. They're doing exactly what they should be doing to a crippled Seattle ball club.
Yep.
I think the Mariners have been outscored by 35 runs in their last 4 games, and they've scored a total of 1 run in each of them. But when you lose every single one of your projected starters to injury, you've got a AA and AAA staff facing a team with the offensive firepower of Washington. Well, that's tough duty for any club.
And so disappointing for their fans because they had very high expectations. And I don't mean they were hoping to play 500 and be competitive. They thought they had a team put together, and maybe they did, that could compete for a division title or even go to the World Series. So this has been very devastating for them.
They've lost 5 in a row. The Mariners now 11 games out of first place. A division that Houston's running away with. The Astros have a 7-game lead over the Rangers and the Angels. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Frazier, who pops this one up left side. Rio Ruiz near the line in foul ground, hauls it in, and there's out number 1. Well, let me ask you maybe an uncomfortable question, but I think it's worth asking at this point. Bartolo Colon, I think we'd all agree, has been a big disappointment in the first 7-8 weeks of this season. If this score holds, he's going to fall to 2-5 on the year. He's going to allow 41 runs in 53 innings. How long does that continue for Bartolo Colon in rotation, who I know has signed a 1-year and big dollar deal?
I don't know. I really don't know. There were you used a great term. You said there were signs of improvement, but it was incremental improvement over his last 2 or 3 starts. That went away today. Wasn't there. Chuck Hernandez and Brian Snitker will have a better feel for that. And Tom, umpire got that one.
Yeah, when the umpire takes a slow walk like that behind the plate, you know it hurt. Oh, right on the left hand. And Phil Cuzzy's going to gallop in from first base and buy a little more time for Tom Hallion.
I know the catchers can't wear one of those things, but if I was an umpire, I'd be behind a wall of some kind. I'd have one of those big balloon vest things, chest protector things, and hide behind it. That really hurt. His bare arm. Back to Colon. That's a tough question. Only Brian Snitker and Chuck Hernandez can answer, depending on what they see and how they feel about any progress he's making with his pitches today. His location was off. I mean, you could find some positives today because of the balls that were hit straight into the ground, and they couldn't make plays on them. They were just swinging bunt type plays, but there were a lot of hard hit balls too.
And that's why I asked it. First of all, I hope it's a fair question, because at the end of the day, it is about results.
Well,
this level.
It's definitely fair, and it's the same question they'll be asked after the game: is how much longer in the rotation for him.
Fly ball toward left. Josh Harrison's the second out.
Matt Whistler's been starting at Gwinnett, brought up here to take Josh Colemanter's place, who was designated for assignment. Whistler will be kind of the long guy for now. his last start at Durham in AAA, 5 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 6 runs.
Yeah, he was pitching to a 5.20 ERA at AAA. So that's probably as much a part of the equation as anything. Anytime a club contemplates a decision in rotation, who's ready to replace him? And I don't know if the Braves have an answer to that.
Who's better?
Yeah.
Who have you got this better?
Well, a good start for Whistler, a 3 up, 3 down, 6th inning. Trust Park, Saturday, June 17th is Superhero Night, so dress like your favorite superhero and cheer on your hometown team as the Marlins are in town. You'll get your own one-of-a-kind Braves superhero cape as part of the special ticket package. Go to Braves.com/superhero for all the details. This one got out of hand for Bartolo and the Braves in the second. The Pirates scored 5 runs on 36 pitches that inning and haven't looked back. Ivan Nova's throwing a 2-hit shutout, and Danny Santana's first attempt to swing the bat in the game is a bunt that's popped up right back to the pitcher, and there's an easy out. Ender Inciarte's had a great month of May. He's our Zaxby's indescribably good player.
10 of his last 11 games, the 12 runs. Very important, because that's what he's in the top of the order, at the top of the order for, is get on base and score.
To put this game in perspective, Joe pointed it out earlier, the difference in pitch numbers. That was the 45th pitch thrown by Nova in the game. He's got 1 out in the 6th inning. Bartolo Colon threw 36 pitches in the 2nd inning alone. Nova has exactly 1 inning where he's thrown more than 9 pitches. That was the 2nd, when he issued a 2-out walk and a single.
You know, he's got a fastball, as we said, between 92 and 94 if he wants to throw a 4-seamer, but he's got good movement on his pitches too. That was a stiff 4-seamer right there. But he's got a change up. He'll back off a little bit and it will sink.
Line drive headed toward Harrison in left, and he got a good jump. That was tailing toward the Pittsburgh left fielder. Sharply hit, but Ender out of luck. He's 0 for 3, 2 outs.
And let's face it, he's had a couple of bullets hit off of him that were caught too, including the one by Kemp up against the right field wall his first time up.
Dansby Swanson's hitting second today. He's 0 for 2. He's our SunTrust confidence play.
Bumped his average up over the 200 with that good work. Over 2 today. He slipped back a little bit. But let's face it, Chip, I mean, you can give up a few down the middle line drives to people when you're up 7-0.
Yeah. Throw strikes.
Yeah.
Make him hit it out of. I mean, he can give up 6 solo home runs and still win the game. That's a comfortable place for any pitcher to be. Another shot. This one's headed for the gap in right center field. And Dansby Swanson's going to have an extra base hit for Atlanta. His 6th double. And that'll bring up Nick Markakis. Love it when Dansby hits the ball the other way, and he's been doing that a lot more frequently, and I think that's why his average is starting to climb.
That one was beginning to move down, but not enough. Good approach by Swanson to take it to right center. But look at Nova's line today. He struck out 1 batter, and that was Inciarte to start the game. He's around the plate. As I said, the scouting report, you know you're going to get something to hit. It's a matter of doing something with it. And he's getting outs.
Runner at second for Markakis. A line drive to second, and Gope with a nice play to his right. Braves are hitting a bunch of atom balls at the Pirates through 6 and haven't been able to crack the scoreboard yet. We head to the 7th. Pittsburgh has the lead. Matt Whistler will start his 2nd inning in relief of Bartolo Colon. Beautiful day at SunTrust Park. Kind of the day when you'd get one of those beautiful pimento sandwich patty melts from our friends at Delaware North. Haven't had one of those in a while. I mean, Joe, nothing brightens your day better than a pimento patty melt on an afternoon day game.
Yeah, that and a hot dog.
Which is like what, better than the steak at the Ritz, you said?
Yeah, it was Humphrey Bogart.
Fly ball to right. Who wants it? It's going to be Inciarte in front of Markakis at the 375 mark. Freeze has retired, 1 out.
A hot dog at the ballpark is better than roast beef at the Ritz. Humphrey Bogart.
Hey, 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 get your own fries. Man, oh man, did you see that?
Well, see, that's one of the people that just walks around the ballpark and
Hey, hey kid,
yeah,
give me some of your
yeah,
food.
Right. I gotta need a napkin now. You had way too much ketchup on that. She'll walk on around. Somebody will have some nachos.
She's the official food taster at SunTrust Park.
It's a cheap day at the park, I tell you that.
Yes, it is.
Is there any food up there?
Yeah, the free stuff's over there, ma'am.
No, there'll be people walking toward you, and you can just sideswipe them.
Cervelli has had a big day at the plate. So's that lady, as a matter of fact.
I hadn't thought of that.
There she goes. Everybody,
Boy, better guard your table.
right.
Box out.
How to play. That's great. But I can understand why that lady would sample as much as she could. The food here is terrific.
Sure.
Delaware North folks have taken great care of us all spring long.
She might have just been thinking, you know what, let me sample a few things before I buy.
Right. 1-2 pitch. I mean, you do that with shoes, right?
Mm-hmm. That was funny.
Oh, man. Cervelli, 3 hits, 2 runs scored. And if you're just joining us, I mentioned earlier today, if you follow such things, there's a website called the Players Tribune. It's an athlete-driven website where they have the athletes write the articles themselves. This guy wrote a very powerful piece on what's happening in Venezuela. Nothing I can say can add to its poignancy. As Whistler struck him out, good pitch to end his perfect day. But in my humble opinion, that's a story that's in our hemisphere. It deserves a lot more coverage than it's getting. And I applaud the players for taking the very big, real political and life-changing risk that they are taking to take the stand that they are from 1,400 miles away. It is real close to home with the Venezuelans and people of all colors and creeds in our hemisphere and beyond.
Yeah, but think about other places in the world where there's similar problems and people going hungry, but they don't have people of their own nationality that have the wherewithal, like the Venezuelans and these ball players, who have the ability to help, and yet they're helpless. They can't even pool together aid to send down there because it's not getting where it needs to go. It's being intercepted or diverted or whatever. They're helpless, and yet they're willing to help and want to help. That's one of the pitiful parts of it.
Ozuna with 2 outs pops 1 out of play, and then even to bring the situation to light and protest what you feel is a corrupt government, inhumane government, whatever adjective you want to use to describe what's happening down there. The fear of reprisals for just speaking your mind, that's something that's so unimaginable to people in the United States. As this one's popped up, and Santana broke back, and he'll make the play, and that's going to take care of the Pittsburgh Pirates. We head to the 7th inning stretch. No steals yet, but that one came close.
Dig in.
Braves trail 7-0. If you watched the Braves Live pregame show yesterday, you saw Ender and Eddie Perez speaking out about what's happening in their home country in Venezuela. Well, the Pirates have two guys who are from there as well, Francisco Cervelli and Felipe Rivero. Now, I talked to Rivero yesterday, and he said the hardest part is that his family is still there, and you don't know what's going on during the game. He says the first thing he does the second a game ends is goes and checks his phone to see if he's heard from him. But he said this season, if he's learned anything, it's that you have to truly separate your emotions whenever you come to the field. But you can tell that what is going on over there is definitely taking a toll on a lot of those guys.
Yeah, wears him down. Big time distraction.
The men from the Dominican Republic make up the largest number of foreign-born players in Major League Baseball. The nation that's produced the second highest total of major leaguers outside of the U.S. is Venezuela. As Kemp rolls out, one pitch, or two pitches I should say, takes care of Matt in the 7th inning. Nova just rolling merrily along. I wonder what his low pitch complete game number would be. He's at 55 pitches and he's got one out in the inning.
We're on it. One of the best pitching performances I ever saw Tom Glavine make was a 79 pitch complete game at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium one night.
Matt Adams the batter, and Matt takes a strike.
95 is his low.
95. I like his chances.
He's on pace. Every pitcher's always better when he's got 7 to work with, let's face it, and you can be more aggressive and pound the strike zone and try to get contact. But that's the way this guy pitches all the time. He didn't have a ton of strikeouts coming in. He had 4 walks and 36 strikeouts. 36 strikeouts in 61 2/3 innings. He's fanned 1 today.
Well, only he knows what was ailing him, if anything, as a member of the Yankees. He had some good years and good numbers with them. But for whatever reason, the Yankees decided Nova wasn't going to fit into their plans, and here he is starring in Pittsburgh. A great pickup for the revenue and budget conscious Pittsburgh ball club.
Absolutely.
2-2, and Adams strokes one toward Osuna in right. He's on the run, can't get it. It's off the base of the wall, and Adams is on his way to second. Matt has another extra base hit as a member of the Braves. A 1-out double.
Well, it looked like he really threw some top hand on this swing. I don't know if the pitch was away from him or not. Let's see. Up and away. And boy, he went out around this, and that top hand really snapped the barrel of the bat through there. Great picture there on that slow motion shot from center field.
So here's Suzuki. You know, Kurt's looking forward to the road trip. All those years as a member of the A's. We'll be playing across the bay, though, in San Francisco. We do have a trip to Oakland later on this summer. When is that? Book here. It is at the end of June and early July.
Wow, that's just a 2-city trip.
Line drive into center field. And Frazier's there. Another hard hit ball, but right at a Pirate defender. Arg. 2 outs. And here's Ruiz. Rio picked up the first Atlanta hit. That was back in the second. He's 4 out of 13 in the series. Nice short hop stop by Cervelli. Ball 1. Heard Kelsey report Adonis Garcia is progressing as he comes back from his Achilles issue. Assuming we'll have a chance to see him at some point on the road trip. At least that's the hope. In the meantime, Ruiz has done a nice job at third base. Had a tough day today with the glove. He's made an error. Couldn't knock down a ground ball that went past him for a hit. Let's see if he can put the Braves on the board here with a 2-out knock. He's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Line drive into left field. Harrison will play it on a hop. Here comes Adams around third. The throw to the plate is going to be late. And Rio does come through with a run-scoring hit. And the Braves are on the board. It's now a 7-1 game.
Fourth RBI for Ruiz. And again, he goes the other way. He's been doing a good job of that on pitches away from him.
So Bonifacio will pinch hit for Whistler. Matt, with 2 perfect innings of relief.
That was a pretty shot.
And the first pitch banged up the middle. Mercer will flip to the second baseman in Gope, who got to the bag a little late, but it was still quick enough to take care of Ruiz and end the Atlanta 7th. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left. We get set for inning number 8. The Pirates lead game 4, 7-1. Time now for today's big story from SunTrust Park. We're headed west. The Golden Gate Bridge at AT Park awaits the Braves. A weekend series coming up. First, Joe, with the San Francisco Giants.
The Giants and Buster Posey. I mean, it depends on what he's doing. A lot of times, how well they're.
Mercer and Gope and Nova are the trio due for Clint Hurdle. Mercer has 2 more hits, 2 more RBIs, and another run. Keeps playing like this, they'll name a college after the guy in this state.
Yeah.
Sharply hit. Nice play, Dansby to Robin.
Yeah, take that.
Yeah, he was due a couple of those. That ball was smoked, though.
Pirates came into this series having scored 2 runs or less 18 times out of their 44 games. Couldn't prove it by the way they've swung the bat in this series.
Yeah, Garrett Cole could tell you all about it, though, right? He's the man that gets no run support. Nova's gotten a bunch today. And for Pittsburgh, they're just hanging around in the division, just lurking. They hope for some help today. Arizona's in Milwaukee to start a series, or get a series going with Milwaukee. Arizona neck and neck with Colorado in the West. Milwaukee with a half-game lead over the Cardinals and the Cubs. That's a fun matchup at Miller Park. If Milwaukee loses, Pittsburgh could gain some ground in the division. As they wait for reinforcements. They've gotten Gregory Polanco back off the DL today, but Polanco not in the lineup. As Ngope strikes out for the second time, and the Braves bullpen has set down the first 8 hitters in order. And Nova will bat again. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Minnesota Twins, one of the great stories that not many are talking about. Minnesota with a 2-game lead in the AL Central. They are getting unbelievable pitching. Former Brave Irvin Santana in the middle of that. And the guys on MLB radio made an excellent point. Minnesota's got virtually the same team this year that they had last year, with one notable exception. Jason Castro, catcher the Braves were interested in. Castro's known as one of the best pitch framing catchers in Major League Baseball. Perhaps his influence behind the plate has helped steady that Minnesota pitching staff.
He's a high energy guy, very positive guy from everything I've ever heard about him. So, you know, he's pumping those guys up.
And Freeman's pumping them out. Back-to-back strikeouts. 9 up, 9 down for the Atlanta Relief Corps as we head to the home 8th. Has the lead, and that youngster's got the best seat in the house. Look at that.
Looks like a minor leaguer. Speaking of that, some good work by some of the minor leaguers last night. Gwinnett beat Durham 4-3. Carlos Franco just called up from Double-A, hit his first homer for Gwinnett. That gives him, I think it's 14 for the year. 12 on the year. Patrick Weigel got his first win in Triple-A. And down in Double-A, same old story. Mike Soroka, another great outing. 10 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. They won the game 2-1 on home runs by Acuna and Demerit in the first inning. And he made them stand up.
Teenagers don't seem to be intimidated by Double-A ball, do they?
No.
For the Mississippi Braves, Danny Santana leads off the Atlanta 8th. That's the 68th pitch from Ivan Nova. As Atlanta comes up, Santana, Inciarte, and Dansby Swanson.
For Soroka, his 5th win last night. He's 5-3 with a 2.96 ERA.
So we all have to be faithful to the process, and that process is to remember there is a wave of young pitching talent that is on the way to the major leagues. It is tough to be patient. That's something Clint Hurdle said in his days as a skipper with the Colorado Rockies. A shot by Santana, who's got another hit after a long dry spell. He's going to try to extend it to a double, and he's going to belly flop in safely to start the Atlanta 8th. He was thinking 2 right away.
Looked like he dropped the barrel on a curveball. Indeed, might not have even been a strike. And good hustle. Some belly flop slides look like they hurt, including this one.
Oh. Fouled away by Ender. Strike 1 to the Braves center fielder. A rare quiet day for him. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Has struck out once. Ender started the play with 33 hits this month, the most of any major leaguer. Fly ball hit toward right. Osuna drifting back. The wind's got a hold of that, and it carries out to the warning track. Santana will tag, and he's going to go to third, and Ron Washington stops him there. So a productive out, but one away.
It's interesting. The winds, I mean, the flags are pointed toward us. At least the Braves flag is. And yet that ball had a lot of carry to it.
RBI chance for Dansby, who's got 17 of them. And he has a 6th inning double. Braves have 6 hits. The Pirates have 10. 5 of their runs and 6 of their safeties came in a long 2nd inning. And rolled foul at the plate. Jaime Garcia's got the ball tomorrow night in San Francisco. Mike Fultonevich on Saturday. R.A. Dickey on Sunday. The Giants have climbed out of the cellar in the National League West. They're 7.5 games, though, behind the 3rd place Dodgers. And they play the Cubs at Wrigley Field today. In fact, they get started in about 5 minutes. Cubs beat the Giants 5-4 yesterday. Wade Davis picked up his 10th save for Chicago. Cardinals beat the Dodgers 6-1. Mike Leake now 5-2. Colorado beat the Phillies 7-2. Rockies have a real good young power pitching staff. This one's grounded to short on contact. A run will score. And Dansby Swanson gives the Braves their 2nd run of the game as Santana comes home. It's now 7-2. Sounds to me like the Rockies have figured out what works as far as their pitching staff is concerned. Power guys.
And they've got a manager that's a former pitcher and pitching coach in Bud Black.
And they're doing this without John Gray, who's out with a toe problem. Anthony Senzatella, Kyle Freeland.
I heard Bud Black say about Gray, though, that might be within about 3 weeks of getting him back.
We won't see the Rockies until August. Again, the schedule is just so strange this year. We will go the entire season without seeing the Rockies. We'll see them 4 games in Colorado beginning August 14th. Then Atlanta comes back home for the Reds, the Mariners, and then August 25th, 6th, and 7th, Colorado comes here. It's kind of like the Braves with Milwaukee. Gotten them out of the way, we've gotten Pittsburgh out of the way. Don't understand that. Base is empty for Nick Markakis. And he takes another strike. It's 1-2. Rams knew they had their hands full with Ivan Nova, and he's proven them right. Given a 7-run lead. And he's given up another hit to Markakis, this one with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Matt Kemp.
And that might get their bullpen moving around.
Yep, they're starting to stir. Jan Marinez, I believe, is the man that'll start to throw. See if Atlanta can pick up 2 more with a long ball from Matt Kemp. Tipped and caught by Cervelli. Strike 1. Seattle's taken the lead in Washington. That's good news. Mariners 3, Nationals 2 in the 7th. Nicasio's gotten up as well. As Nova's ready with his 2-strike pitch. Grounded foul at third. Driven softly toward right, and that's going to be playable and caught. And that will retire the Braves in the 8th inning. A run on 2 hits. We head to the 9th. It continues with day 3. After our Braves day game coverage, you can catch 2 great college matchups starting at 3 Eastern on Fox Sports South, or stream our baseball coverage throughout the day on the Fox Sports Go app.
That time of year, a lot of conference tournaments going on, or beginning. All roads lead to Omaha.
So to the 9th we go in Atlanta. Frazier, Harrison, and Bell are coming up. 9 up, 9 down for Whistler and Sam Freeman, who begins his 2nd inning of relief. Told you who the Braves starters will be against the Giants. Matt Cain pitches tomorrow night. Ty Block on Saturday night. And then Johnny Cueto on Sunday.
So you're going with Block?
Yeah, I asked our pal Dwayne Kuiper.
He
said that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Dwayne would never lead us astray.
Well, it's better, probably better than what you had originally.
Yeah, it was. Ugh. It's kind of how this game was. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Sam Freeman's done a real nice job. And that should continue with a clean play at second. 1 away. These seem like meaningless innings, but they're really not. These are other arm-saving innings. And in a game where Atlanta's down 5 runs, it's another day of rest for Jim Johnson, another day of rest for Vizcaino, a day of rest for Ramirez. And if the Braves get a lead tomorrow late, you feel good about possibility of those 3 guys participating and pitching well.
Couldn't agree more. And there will be other games that come along that aren't 7-run deficits, but maybe 4-run deficits, where you want to do the same thing and hold the opponent, give your team a chance to catch up. As you've said, the Braves are a good late inning ball club. Just depends on how many they've got to make up.
It was 5-0 in a blink of an eye today, and with Ivan Nova as stingy as he is, it's been too much to overcome to this point. Braves have 3 outs left, 2 more outs to get. We're in the 9th. 7-2's the score. Line drive into left center, shallow. Ender can't get there. And Harrison's aboard with a single. First base hit for the Pirates since the 5th inning.
He's had a good day and he's had a good series. That's 9 hits for him in the 4-game series.
So here's Josh Bell. Bell is 0 for 4. Like Matt Adams, Bell got involved in the offseason yoga routine. He's dropped about 15-20 pounds off his frame. And a man that's been instrumental in helping try to improve Bell's work around first base was former Pirate Kevin Young. Pittsburgh has very high hopes for this young man, gave him a big time bonus to forego his college opportunities. And now he whacks one past third again. Boy, they've peppered that third base line in this series. And they are going to wave Harrison to third base, and he'll stop there. So Josh Bell with a double inside the bag at third. And the Pirates have another hit and another threat, this time in the 9th inning.
Fastball, belt high, and hooked by Rio. They've worn Rio out to both sides. Boy, look at, again, he pulls his hands in so well and clears that hip.
So Atlanta will walk Freeze intentionally to get to Cervelli and set up a potential double play.
Yeah, he does not run well, but he's 3 for 4 today.
So a Pirate at every base in the ninth. They already lead at 7-2.
Pirates had 14 hits last night, 9 of them in the last 2 innings.
Up the middle, a base hit on the first pitch. That's going to score 2 more runs. Enciarte's throw all the way to the backstop. Nobody backed up the play, and everybody moves up another 90 feet.
A rare mental mistake by Ender, who was probably frustrated by the merry-go-round of runs today and was going to try to cut somebody down, but airmailed it over everybody.
So the Pirates have 9 runs across on 13 hits, 2 Atlanta errors. And Jose Osuna bats. He scored twice. Doesn't have a hit. And down the right field line, infield in for the Braves with only 1 out. Four-hit game for Cervelli, as you hear, matches a career high. And Joe, I think you're exactly right. Rest did him a great favor, and a refreshing day today as far as the weather's concerned. Broken bat and just foul again. Rio might want to go ahead and just stand on the third base bag and save himself the trouble.
Right. That was close.
Swing and a miss. Ozuna chased. And there's out number 2. Third strikeout for Sam Freeman. And does it seem like this guy's up every inning?
Yes. He or Frazier for sure.
Man, oh man. Braves get to see Mercer one more time. He's got 2 more hits.
Nine for 16 in the series. Up to 240. Was hitting 203 when they came in.
Well, you know what the best news about that is? We don't have to look at this guy for a whole nother year.
Yeah, it's.
I mean that is the ultimate compliment.
Yeah, it worries me he'll get traded to the Mets.
Perfect. 1 ball, 1 strike. I mean, don't you have some kind of Oklahoma X you can put on this guy for us?
I wish. from Tologa, Oklahoma. Maybe there's a Tologa talisman that I can break out.
What's the Tologa High School nickname? That would be a good nickname, by the way. The talisman would be.
I'm not sure what it is. I'll go with Tigers.
33,713 was the announced attendance this afternoon. And no swing. Another deep count for Mercer. And Gope is next.
Backdoor him. Backdoor slider.
Hey, there we go.
Take that again.
Right. A strikeout. But 2 more across for the Pirates in the 9th. Last chance for Atlanta.
You heard Chip mention Josh's Bell, his yoga routine this offseason. All started with a conversation with Reds' Joey Votto while he was on first, and Votto encouraged him to try yoga because he told him power is power no matter what you weigh. And he used Jose Altuve as an example, who had 24 home runs last season. But last year to camp, Bell reported at 248, this year 226. So it's working, it's showing, and he's playing really well.
He is playing really well, and he's a big part of the Pirates' future. And anytime Joey Votto starts talking about getting in shape, you might want to pay attention if you're a major league player or if you're a fan. Did you hear about a fan the other night in Cincinnati when Votto was in the on-deck circle playing the Indians? As Matt Adams takes strike, some fan heckler yelled, "I remember when you used to be good." Fan yelled at Joey Votto, who without prompting turned around and looked at the, shall we say, rather rotund fan. "I remember when you used to be thin."
Good comeback.
And a ground ball to third. Was there a famous heckler in the league when you played? In the NBA was famous for guys. Vinny the Barber in Detroit was notorious. Robin Ficker at the Washington Bullets and now Wizards games.
No, I don't remember anyone.
No.
I'll remember this outing today, though, by Ivan Nova because of how efficient he's been. His next pitch will be his 90th. Got bruised a little bit in the 7th and 8th inning with a couple of runs, but he was still just throwing strikes with a big lead.
Kurt Suzuki's 0 for 2. He's the man that drew the rare walk, and now he's got a shot into the gap in left center field for a base hit. Suzuki around first. He's thinking 2. Frazier got to the ball a little late, and Suzuki in slightly ahead of the tag. Good players never take at bats off, no matter the score in the game, and Kurt Suzuki doesn't. That's his 5th double.
None of these Braves do. Got a good pitch to hit, didn't miss it.
Two-hit day for Rio, including an RBI in the 7th. 9-2 Pirates lead. Can't risk getting thrown out in a 7-run game. So Suzuki holds tight at second. He's already in scoring position. Just missed. Nova's trying for his 3rd complete game. You know how many complete games there are in the entire National League coming into play today?
No.
9. He'd have a 1/3 of them by himself if he can get 2 more outs. Fouled back. It's 2-2. Nova's stuff not as crisp, not as sharp over the last inning plus. And Cervelli's going to buy him a little more time as he approaches 100 pitches. And while they chat, we'll remind you the Braves Live presented by Xfinity will follow us. We'll recap the homestand and get you set for the start of the road trip tomorrow night in San Francisco.
Rio's had another nice day with his 2 hits and RBI. Hitting the ball the other way too, a nice sign.
Line into right field. That was sharply hit. It was hit so hard Suzuki had to hold up to make sure it wasn't caught on a line. And now Atlanta has runners at first and third. A 3-hit day for Rio Ruiz.
Got to be his first career 3-hit day. Decided they probably ought to stay inside on him, even though the target was away. The pitch was inside. Made a mistake there, did Nova, and it got clocked.
Low stress day for Ray Searage to this point, but he'll make his way to the mound with Brandon Phillips coming on to pinch hit for Freeman. Sam Freeman, 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. right there for a strike. Line drive right field. That'll get down for a hit and score a run. Brandon Phillips with a pinch hit single. That makes it a 9-3 game. And Danny Santana's the hitter. Clint Hurdle was pointing to the on deck circle. I think he wanted to make sure Santana was announced, but he's already in the game. And then Clint pointed to his chest and said, my mistake. He's going to go get the ball from Ivan Nova, who was absolutely brilliant again today. He won't complete the game, but he has a great shot to win it. It's 9-3 in the ninth. For the 17th time. Santana's coming up for Atlanta, then the top of the order. You never know. We've seen some crazy stuff in this series. Maybe Atlanta can complete the comeback.
They just got him from Milwaukee, and he turned in a good performance in the opening game of this series. 2 2/3 innings of 2-hit shutout ball. Walked a couple of guys, but no runs. Fastball slider.
Santana doubled and scored in the 8th. One ball, no strikes. This guy throws hard.
Yeah, he's 94 to 96.
So Santana's got a fight on his hands. Down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he struck him out. So Marinez gets the first man he was assigned. Now it's up to Ender Inciarte to keep the game alive for the Braves. 2 on, 1 in, 2 out. Pop fly out of play. Amazing to see a pitching performance like Nova, as dominant as he was, as efficient as he was, to strike out only one man, and it was the first man, as you said, to start the game.
Right.
Don't see that too often.
It's not the way he pitches, not the way he works.
And Tom Hallion got popped again. He's already taken one ball off the left hand. Let's see where this foul ball got him.
Right forearm. He's going to look like Popeye tonight.
Umpires wear black and blue for a reason, apparently.
Nova's strikeout high for the year is 7. He's done it twice.
Nothing in 2. Line drive up the middle. There's a base hit. Braves are going to get another run. Ruiz will score. It's a 9-4 game. So a couple of guys will have some swagger, a little more of it at least, on the charter heading to San Francisco. Another month of May hit for Inciarte, his 34th, an RBI as well. Phillips stops at second, and Dansby Swanson's the hitter. Couple more and things get a little more interesting. Braves have no margin for error, though. They're down to their last out.
18th RBI in the leadoff spot for Ender.
And Dansby fouled that back. Strike 1.
They do not want to use their closer with such a nice, comfortable lead, but he's on standby.
Little pop into shallow center. Frazier's got it, and the Pirates have come back to split this series in Atlanta. Ivan Nova was brilliant over 8 1/3 innings. He beats the Braves by a final score of 9-4. And questions for the Braves and Bartolo Colon, who struggled again. 7 runs, 10 hits in 5 innings of play today. The Braves wrap up their homestand with a 5-4 record. We head west to start a series with the Giants tomorrow night. Joe and I will step aside for a moment and get you set for Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. We'll recap the homestand and get you set for the Giants, the Angels, and the Cincinnati Reds, who are up on the schedule next.